All right, so we're just on a test drive right now with one of our Freightliner 2022 MT45s diesel with the Cummins and the Allison. What we want to do is show you kind of what we do with our reconditioning process. So we'll kind of walk around the truck, kind of show you the ins and outs of what we do. All right, so the first thing you'll notice on this truck, since it's so new, we didn't have to do an extensive amount of body work. We do have a full paint facility. We have a 50-foot paint booth. We can shoot a lot of different styles of paints. In this case, this is a truck that we returned back to its original white. But on this one, it's a two-stage buff. We do repaint the wheels white. We repaint the bumpers black. Mainly a buff over the whole unit. A few spots might have been touched up here and there. The wheels are 60% on this, so we got good rubber still. This one only has 12,000 miles, but you can get an idea. It looks brand new. Whether the truck's 2 years old or 5 years old, we recondition them to look literally new. Mechanically, same thing. We have a whole process we go through, get the trucks ready for DOT. On this one, there's very little to do other than change the oil and the filters. All right, so those of you that have fleets or own these or potentially looking to own one, they are pretty well made. Utilmaster and Morgan Olson make the bodies on them. However, even from the factory, there's sticking points. The doors don't necessarily always slide right. So when we bring them back in, recondition them, we always make sure that we adjust all the doors to where they're working properly. Could be jump seat, could be back door, could be hood. All those little details add up all the way down to the mirrors. Sometimes they get off when they're lightly used. So that's what we do kind of on the fit and finish side of things. All right, so we're in the rear of the truck now. A lot of the trucks will come with the roll-up rear door. This happens to be a composite roll-up rear door. It's a great new system they're putting together. But sometimes the door tracks need to be adjusted. The weather strip needs to be adjusted. The Pelican lock or the Enforcer lock. So we're going through all those details and making sure they're well-rounded before we deliver the vehicle. So from a standpoint with the engines, transmissions, drivetrain, a lot of our so-be competitors that are in the pre-owned side, they're auto dealerships that might have snagged one of these from a private sale. That's not where our trucks come from. Our trucks come from large leasing companies. We have programs with them. When they come off, we have trade terms. Mechanically, they're in great shape. Cosmetically, it might be the wrong color or have the wrong spec with shelves. We will end up going through a complete process, though, on the mechanical side to make sure we meet a DOT. If there's any challenges with any of the engine components, we'll replace those before we send those out. So everything from engine, trans, drivetrain, brakes, tires, we go through and make sure that all of those are up to a certain spec, which is DOT spec. But it's a several 100-point checklist we go through. Every truck goes through it before it goes out. We'll share that with you before you buy it. Okay, so now I'm inside the driver compartment. This is the area that takes, honestly, the second most beating on the vehicles besides the exterior. The employees that run these trucks, they're really hard on them. So jump seats, we're making sure they're all adjusted, all of your entry locks, camera systems working well, all the dash works, all the components there, lights, switches, etc. Radios, AC, we recharge those if need be. So everything on the inside of this has been reconditioned to where it's essentially new. As we work our way into the cargo area here, we go through and do a light acid wash to peel one layer of the aluminum off the floor and all the shelving. But this area is repaired. If there's any shelves that are broken or rivets that are broken, we'll make those repairs. Like I said before, the roll-up door, if we have hinges, if we have tracks, operators that are off, we readjust those or replace those. And literally, when the truck gets to you, there should be zero defects, depending on the year range of the truck. Most of the stuff that we sell is newer, so you're really going to have little to no defects with our pre-owned trucks. So hopefully this gives you context. There's no dealer in the United States that sells both new and pre-owned like Sapphire, especially Trucks, does. We handpick our units that come off lease. This is on a very short-term lease rental scenario. We have usually 10 to 30,000 miles on the inventory we're bringing in. So it's new stuff. It just needs to be reconditioned cosmetically. And like I said, we have a whole extensive mechanical side we go through if need be. So that's kind of what we do under the hood here at Sapphire Specialty Trucks.